Let's bring you some breaking news now. And a new YouGov poll of Conservative Party members has found that Liz Truss is the strong favourite to beat Rishi Sunak in the race to be the next Prime Minister. Well, let's go live now to Westminster and to our Deputy Political Editor, Sam Coates. And Sam, a real boost there for Liz Truss.
That's right. This is the first poll of Conservative Party members that YouGov have done since we found out who is in the last two that has to be that's going to the Conservative Party membership over the next few weeks. And here are the results. Rishi Sunak gets 38% of the votes, while Liz Truss is on 62%. So a pretty whopping lead for the Foreign Secretary. Currently, she is therefore 24 percentage points ahead of her rival Rishi Sunak. This is an expanded lead compared to just earlier this week. You can see that the 62% is up 2 from a poll taken of Tory party members on Monday, Tuesday. Rishi Sunak's 38% is down 2 compared to that poll at the start of the week. Now, that looks like a very big hurdle for the former Chancellor to overcome in the next few weeks. Ballots going out in about a fortnight. But look at the toxicity of this race. Who can't be trusted? Well, Liz Truss, 18% of Conservative Party members say that Liz Truss can't be trusted, but 40% of Tory party members say that Rishi Sunak can't be trusted. It seems like all those stories of Rishi Sunak's betrayal of Boris Johnson, some of which stretch, I think, a little bit of the bounds of credibility and truth, and the relentless hammering he's had from some MPs and certain media outlets, well, that's really rubbed off. And it makes it just that little bit harder for the Conservative Party to come back together in the event that Rishi Sunak becomes Prime Minister at the end of it, which doesn't now look like the likely outcome. But to give you a sense of the breadth of Liz Truss's support, she gets the majority of the vote amongst people in all age categories, 18 to 49, 50 to 64, 65 plus. She wins amongst men, she wins against women, and she wins amongst Leave voters. Now, the only category that Rishi Sunak wins in is Remain voters, which is a pretty remarkable turn-up for the books because, of course, back in that 2016 Brexit referendum, it was Rishi Sunak who was a prominent campaigner to leave, and it was Liz Truss who was passionately advocating to remain. But politics has turned, the wheel has gone round, and now, as it were, Rishi Sunak attracts the Conservative Remain-leaning vote. Now, Liz Truss has been out and about more prominently than her rival today. Let's hear what she had to say earlier.
My plans do not exceed the headroom. I'm very clear that they are about £30 billion worth of costings, and those are affordable within our current headroom. But what is not affordable is putting up taxes, choking off growth, and ending up in a much worse position. And many international bodies, including the OECD, say that our current policy is contractionary. It's likely to lead to a recession, and we simply cannot afford that.
So, a remarkable stage in this race, given that Rishi Sunak was the front-runner for all the way through the MP stages. Now he's the underdog and acknowledges such in this race. And we know that because of these YouGov Tory member polls. I'm joined by one of the people at YouGov who does it. That's Patrick English. This is a very big mountain that Rishi Sunak needs to climb in order to win this race now. Can you say for certain, how certain can you be that Liz Truss is on course for victory?
Well, certainly right now this is just a poll. This is a snapshot of Conservative Party members' opinion right now. However, it's very consistent with the findings we found just a couple of days ago. That said, if you look back to last week, it was Penny Mordaunt who was sweeping the board with Conservative Party members. The week before, it was Ben Wallace. And if we go back as far as January, Rishi Sunak had a commanding lead over, yes, Liz Truss. So certainly the Conservative Party membership are volatile. They have been proven to change their minds, and they will go where the wind takes them. However, right now, this looks like a huge, huge mountain for Rishi Sunak to climb if the polling is anything to go by.
Are there any clues in the data as to why Tory party members are backing Liz Truss over Rishi Sunak?
I think there's a couple of things, yes. One of the significant things that we've been finding when we talk to Conservative Party members is they're looking for honesty, integrity and a return to conventional Conservative values. So what does that mean? Well, it's big trouble for Rishi Sunak if 40% of the Conservative Party membership don't think he can be trusted. It's also a big problem, I think, that Liz Truss is able to, or is getting out on a platform and saying she's prioritising tax cuts straight away. A return to that reduction in the involvement of the state in the economy, whereas Rishi Sunak is saying he wants to keep taxes where they are for now, deal with inflation and then look at tax cuts. So certainly Liz Truss is kind of singing from the same hymn sheet, if you like, as Conservative Party members, and I think that's costing Rishi Sunak at the minute with them.
Do you think that the data shows that there's just not enough excitement around Rishi Sunak's policy programme? It seems like he's promising jam tomorrow, she's promising jam today. Is that having an impact?
I think it absolutely is, yes. As we say, these conventional Conservative values are coming up time and time again when we talk to the Conservative Party members. We let them tell us in their own words what they'd like to see, and they were talking to us about tax cuts. They were talking about a reduction in the amount of government spending. There was exactly the sort of things that Liz Truss is campaigning on right now, and that makes it difficult for Rishi Sunak.
Final question. The Rishi Sunak campaign tell us time and again that he can beat Keir Starmer better than Liz Truss. Is that true?
Well, at the minute, our current favourability ratings for both of these politicians, so the amount of people that say they have a positive opinion minus the amount that say they have a negative opinion, is at minus 31 each. So I don't think there's much evidence at all that either of them are going to fare much better at the moment. But of course, that's a very hypothetical question. We'd have to see much closer to the time when the public starts to get really thinking about general elections and who the candidates actually are.
Patrick English, thank you very much indeed. That final poll, critical. Rishi Sunak's team tell you he's better placed to win a general election. Not clear that that's true from the evidence.
Sam, thank you. That's Sam Coates, our Deputy Political Editor in Westminster. And just a reminder that in 2 weeks' time, we'll see those two candidates go head-to-head here on Sky News in a live televised debate. Kay Burley will be hosting it all on Thursday, the 4th of August at 8 p.m.